All right. It's the epilogue of this game. Supposedly. Listen to the people. It's not even like a request in my in progress list. Bro, this is so toxic. Look at all these quests that I did. Get a life. So many. What about my virtues? Still maxed out for Gucci followers? Oh. Y'all want me to talk to everybody one last time. Okay. Let's do it. There's Hulkamania right there.
Come now.
When you finish business, you're out. When you finished your business outside the palace, please promise me you'll return to resume your duties, Your Majesty. If you take this as pressuring you not to venture out, that's not it at all. Only that as captain of the Royal Guard, I must know your whereabouts at all times. Wow, the formality. Sounding awfully formal there, Hulkenberg. Well, that is, think of your station. How else would the knights captain address the land's king? To be overfamiliar would set a poor example. Imagine the scandalized faces of the rank and file guard. That said, not a day goes by that I don't reflect on our travels now, only a year past. I owe regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. I was but a wanderer searching in vain for the prince, and it was through you I learned he yet lived, and in the end, it was your ascent to the throne I supported. I never tire the faces the younger guards make when I tell them of the time you acted as witness to my duel. Yeah, when you gave Rodant the beats. One-tapped him too. Thanks to you, I was able to face him with eyes forward and put my past behind me. I'm pleased to say the knights of today are nothing like what they were under Rodant's command. Soldiers take up their sword not for those in power, but for the people. And as champion of the people yourself, we will do all in our power to protect you, our king.
Well,
you do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do, though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know they protect not just the king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voices in clarion truth. I will protect you with my life as I always have endeavored to do, Your Majesty. Only let me stay by your side to do so.
What do you want to do?
I like her new hat. Yeah, it's fancy, right? Look at it. It's a clean hat. I can honestly see like Kaosa wearing that. Looking fly in it too. I bet we're gonna die. That's a wild statement to make after I just went through hell with Luis. But go off. Hey, Kurt, man, this is one of my favorite NPCs. This dude's been real since the very beginning in Grand Trad. No offense, but you didn't exactly look like a prince. What's bothering you about Sunshade Road, brother? What's the problem? Oh, it's poor, it's dirty. All right, I'll miss you, Kurt, man. I'll miss you, brother. Always keeps it real. Keeps it a buck every day. I want to talk to you, Masked Man. Bro, everyone has thought clouds right now. They want you to speak to everybody, not just like the followers, but the NPCs too. Everybody got something to say. Good Lord.
That's the way.
You know what? There is one person that I want to see if they have anything to say. And that is, there's someone in this building who's always yapping out the streets. Let me see if I can find him. There it is. See? Check women's voice.
Hey.
Hey, do you hear a voice from up above?
oh,
Repentant woman. That's Jess right there. That's why she's here now, because she's speaking in the game. A year ago, I was being the worst. All I did was nitpick every little thing. But you weren't wrong. I was being reckless when I left town. No, I'm the one who decided to follow you. I won't pretend I'm not at fault either. I love you. Whoa, they made up? That's a fun little dialogue because this couple was in hell in that building. I'm happy they're doing well a year later. Nice job, Jess. Alonzo, you snake.
Pleasure to see.
Speaking of NERD. Why, hello, Your Majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I see you've become quite apt at sneaking away from your palatial duties. Under constant fire from knaves of all trades, con artists, and critics alike, your opening act has been rather tumultuous, no? I hadn't noticed. How kingly an answer, never missing an opportunity to display how capable you are. Commendable. Besides, most of those agitators are the kind of scum that stirs the pot in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I couldn't handle, of course. All in a day's work for the royal adjutant to the Citizens' Council. Quite an ally I've made, I hope.
Hey.
I wonder if my mother would be the slightest bit proud to see who I've become. That I'm doing my damnedest to use my talents for good, as I always should have. I'm sure she would, brother.
Yes.
I hope so. I was such a problem child. I'd like to make this a country where honest folk like my mother can be
Now that
happy.
you mention it.
That reminds me. Do you remember Datarum, my homeland's landowner? He told me to send you his regards. He's since confessed his crimes and is awaiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. It makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country is doing so well. There's nothing more to it. I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you. And I am proud to be among its people. Perhaps under your rule the day will come that even we Nydia can walk freely about in our true forms. That's a funny story, by the way. His people, the Nydia, like Yufa is also a Nydia, they are childlike in appearance all the time. That's their true form. But they're really good at adaptation, which is why Yufa is a masked dancer. So they take on this adult form to be amongst the public because they can't just walk around as like little children. Because people might underestimate them, underutilize them, mistreat them in their actual forms. Okay, I'm gonna go, so no talking behind my back. I'll keep your stream up, but muted. She's playing Overwatch, isn't she? I deserve that, Alex. All the times I've done that to you. Just randomly trying to get Twaffle's attention, being like, you know, Alex, I mean, I wouldn't say that about Twaffle, but I guess you could. Mala falls with really good glamour. Yes. Ah, you're curious what I look like in my true form. I'd be happy to oblige, but let's save that for another time, shall we? Yufa's Musari? Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of the wrong person. You are 100% right. I'm thinking of Juna. Okay, don't laugh, but I keep getting Juna and Yufa mixed up. Legit, because they both arrived in my party back to back. So both of them back to back, whenever they're in my party, I get confused as to which one's which. I've had a few battles where I thought I had one in the battle, and I would go, oh no, wrong person. I had to like hot tag out, like WWE hot tag, grabbing the turnbuckle and slamming it over and over again, getting the crowd behind it like type beat. But yeah, Yufa is Mustari, Juna is a Nydia. Mustari being the ones who had the religious beliefs to wear the box over their head. Yes. I'm playing WoW with Chrono when he's ready. Are you talking to me? Because I'm muted. So that can't be true. The God. Everyone, can we get some Basilio in the chat? Give it up for a true pimp. The #1 op to Luis. The one person Luis could not even take, you know what I'm saying? That's my man's in them right there. That's my dude, yo. Ugh. You can't tell me what to do? Okay, we're in shitposting mood. Got it. All right, fine. Reem, do you see what Basilio has? He has the armband. SES gang, where you at, baby? You got the armband. Heisme?
Oh.
Well, I see our king is out on some personal business, eh? I believe Hulkenberg was searching for you, but I suppose it's none of my business who comes or goes. I'm on break myself. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards over much, They all take their duties quite seriously, much like their captain. Bah, who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth. That becomes clear to me since becoming titled. What could be even more bizarre? A Yugif outcast, once a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head, made knight commander. There was, of course, some opposition at first, but the more heart-to-heart talks I've had, the more accepting they become, albeit gradually. Times are changing, brother.
Right.
True.
Indeed, grand titles and posts across the nation are held by all manner of tribes now, each contributing with their respective strengths. I've realized over the past year just how much a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king, he alone does not a country make.
However,
Yet he stands for those very people as symbol and representative. That the king and those around him are of mixed tribes has already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in rural villages. I could talk to Heisme all day. This is my bro, man. This is the one in the final battle. You know, myself and Culinary and Alex getting gassed up over the idea of him just coming in and tagging in, being like, oh, power of kings. Like, ugh. Sorry, Holiday. Scared him. How's Tadari?
Now that you mention it.
yes.
He seems as busy as he can handle now that they've resumed trade with other villages. Your coronation inspired that village to greater heights. It proved that barriers can be broken, and that even they could take the first step. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to make another trip back home with my son to see the changes for myself soon enough. By the way, that was one of the sweetest and one of my favorite side stories. Is Heisme coming to terms what happened with the death of his son, carrying around that urn, trying to figure out where to bury him, finding a favorite hill that his son loved, and then realizing he didn't want to put that there, then having it stolen, then reclaiming it. Like, by the way, who steals someone's son's ashes? What's the matter with you? And then figuring out, like, you know what I'm going to do actually? Is I'm going to just have him molded so I can take him with me wherever I go at all times, which is like what I do. Heisme is dope. I also love Holiday. I love Holiday, but I love Heisme so much too. And someday I hope distant generations will grow up only knowing conflict born of tribal differences from history
We
books.
shall.
We have a ways to go before that day comes, but until it does, let us forge the path towards it, Your Majesty. Now it's time to talk to the GOAT, baby. The GOAT, the Luis Slayer himself, Big B Basilio.
Yo.
I'm not gonna do the accent. Sorry, Reem. You yelled at me last time. 3 of my nails broke, so I cut them all. Probably because of Luis. Luis probably did that to you. Out inspecting again. Seems the right pain to me, but I appreciate you going to all the effort. All's well, I take it.
Hey.
I wish I had something to report, but I don't. Guess that's what happens when we make a guy like me captain of the Tradian Brigade. Or Tradian. Grand Trad. Tradian Brigade. Bit of a mouthful in it. Still not used to calling myself a captain besides. We've even taken in some survivor from Luis's troops, you know, but don't you worry. I've got 2 eyes on them, and even when I ain't looking.
But
The way I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I just gotta show them how power's supposed to be used, yeah? We owe it to you that there's less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer are turning to a life of crime to make ends meet. If Del Casigran tried today, his eyes would bug out. Not just Del, a lot of the guys who didn't make it. Vinka.
That's... yeah.
Yeah, remember him? Those damned experiments trapped him in a vengeance he couldn't see past, but I feel like even he might be smiling what I'm up to now. Yeah, dude, experimenting on the Parapus is nasty work. We built this piece with a lot of blood and tears. So I say those of us who made it this far owe it to all of them, what didn't to protect it. Maybe I've got nothing to report today, but it's not like bad people just stop being bad because you're the king now.
Thank you.
You've been through a lot though, so thanks for not giving up on us, or the world for that matter. You spot any trouble that I didn't spot first, you just point me at it and I'll solve it quick like. My dude is always ready for act. Like, see, that's a shooter. That's a rider. Like, that's why I want riding shotgun with me at all time. He said, you see a problem, you point, I'll shoot. Look at that. Just point your captain at the trouble. That's my shooter. Fucking Louise.
This place has
All right,
really
then.
changed.
All right then.
Well, I sure don't
Me and
want to go back to the
Apex.
old kingdom.
Well, that's my new terminology, Reem, is that if you are a shooter in a game like Apex or Marathon or Overwatch, I'm gonna start referring to you as Basilio. Like, dang, you Basilio with it. Like, you a real Basilio. About that life. No littering. I saw this in chapter 1 and thought it was hilarious. I know, but like, it's just that you aren't the same kind of shooter Basilio is, with all due respect. You know what I mean?
Oh, very nice.
Oh, Julian. I don't want to talk to Julian. With all due disrespect.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you kindly.
With all due disrespect, I don't want to speak to Julian.
Oi there.
Oi there. General Shopkeep was good.
Oh, but which action to undertake?
We just had a guest in the store claiming to be the chief of Etria. What? The homie was here? He said he wanted ingredients for the withering potion they use on the island. And how should I put this? That Mustari village chief, he's rather easy on the eyes. Oh yeah, he finds shit. He is. He looked like a Tankin Masters. A Tankin Masters with light eyes. Wait, sorry, forget about that. I swear I had a point. Intrusive thoughts. She got the Love Jones. Yeah, she shook.
All right then.
I'm gonna go tell him. Like, hey, you know in Grand Trad, that potion shopkeeper? She feeling some kind of way about you, Brody.
Oh, very nice.
Same way I feel about your sister. Oh, this little shitheel. This playing child's been bad-mouthing me since chapter 1. Since chapter 1, playing child. So he's changed his tune. Oh, look at this. He speaks like Twafo too. Look at this. Whoa, Elda. You really became king. King. Hey, king. Oh, king. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you singing a different tune now, aren't you? Yeah, it's all shit. Like, he thinks shit's sweet. I'm gonna have this kid arrested. Like, he don't know it yet, but I got plans for him. I'm gonna have him falsely arrested for littering.
Thanks.
Snitching? Yes. Will he, 1, change his tune, or 2, keep shit talking you? Bro switched up real quick. Found the winning team and said, you know what? My bad, OG. I like that. It shows the kid has street smarts.
All right then.
Like, he knows when to turn the corner and realize, you know what? I should be a better version of myself because the world's changing. I should try to be a better person now. It's like what Don Lemon did. You know, it's like what Megyn Kelly tried and couldn't do. She was like, all right, forget this. I can't keep it up. That's what that kid is doing. So, like, I fuck with it. Like, I get it. I understand it now. Is that my gauntlet runner? It is. Why is it parked here? He felt the heat coming around the corner and it was you. Correct. King Holiday's reign was prosperous and good, bringing freedom and safety to all. And yet a weird scar on his legacy. And I would own it forever. It's like those dudes in the baseball stadiums who fight kids for home run balls and they hold it up celebrating. That's me with that kid. Sycophant. Yes, exactly what they are. Why won't you talk to Julian? What did he do? He knows what he did. Ran his mouth to me. Thought he was a holier than thou. What's he doing now? Looking at me ahead of him. He's my rearview mirror. Do you remember a long time ago when Luis dropped that human on the city? Oh, that's not overstepping. Might I tell you something I've always wanted to say? Do you remember a long time ago when Luis dropped that human on the city? That's Riggs' boy, by the way. When Luis dropped that human on the city, I was actually assigned to duty at the Grand Cathedral that day. The state army was in complete disarray and us soldiers were absolutely terrified. But it was the rumors about you that kept us afloat in those dark times, Your Majesty. You couldn't go a day without hearing someone insult the lesser tribe, and here comes this group led by some elder, fighting through the cathedral with no regard for their lives. If you'd only know how much the tales of your heroism and courage gave to the guards that day. I couldn't thank you then, so please allow me to do so now. You truly are a hero king, Your Majesty.
Amazing.
Somebody send that dude a fruit basket. Send him whatever he wants. Send him a honey baked ham. Send him some marshmallow peeps. No, he was the final boss, Spider. We're in the epilogue now. You know when you score the winning game touchdown and then you get the ass pats from everybody? That's what I'm getting right now. The game's over, I scored the winning touchdown, and now it's time for everybody to slap my butt and say, good job, good game, GG's. Can I take one last piss?
Right.
I wash my hands one last time. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not now. Wait. The game lets me go pee, but won't let me wash my hands? This is Your Majesty right here? This is your boy? I don't need to. I didn't touch it. It's not dirty. I'm gonna go outside and shake hands with my people, the public, and give them all pee-pee hands. And they'll be none the wiser. Felonious. Felonious. Like some real felonious monk nonsense. I can't believe I missed your fight against Luis in the Gender Man last stream. How did that go? It went better than expected, even. I came through nice with it. Clapped phase 1. Spanked more. Took phase 2 to 10%. Got bopped, came back, repurposed, and then spanked. Honestly, all it was just marathoning. It was just really long battles and a lot of back and forth. Yo, Lena! I love this little Ujif. All Lena cares about is having the absolute best gauntlet runner in the world and making gauntlet runners. Like, one track mind. I love people who are so compulsive like her, who just like, I don't care what you like. Like, I do care. Like, all I care about are gauntlet runners. That's all I care about. I care about gauntlet runners and gauntlet runner supplies. Like, that's not, thank you, Reem. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? That's all I care about. Gauntlet runners. That's what she's all about. King for over a year and you're still trying to yoink food from Nurse's pantry? All right, bro. Chill. You're right, but chill. Distributing some Royal Magla, it's wild. Your Majesty washed his hands already before leaving. He's not white. Crazy work. But not wrong. He like one-shot them. All right, well, I'm not gonna make up things. Hiya, boss. Oh, dang, I suppose I shouldn't be speaking to you so casually, huh? Then again, we were rivals, weren't we? And Caden's workshop, the official workshop of the Palace Engineer. Oh my God, that's sick. Her workshop is the official workshop of the Palace Engineers. Not that it's here nor there. Besides, I'm glad you got the crown. Still lots of humans out there you'll have to deal with, and you'll need a gauntlet runner to get to them. Caden Workshop, thanks to you for your patronage. That's sick. Oh, I love a good epilogue. All my friends win. Yo, happy Black History Month to Nurus. Remember all the dope black characters in Final Fantasy 16? Final Fantasy 16? Me neither. Oh, what brings His Royal Majesty here? Come to feel the wind on your face too, have you? I know how it is. I have the fancy old title of Chief Engineer of the Kingdom Infrastructure Development Bureau and can research as I please now, but something's missing. So I threw off that stuffy old uniform and came to gaze upon the runner and the way that I do. I know how you feel, bro.
About that. Oh.
I knew you would agree. I think my bones are aching to feel the wind. I'd rather miss the days of dashing hither and thither in the runner.
Perhaps.
Not that I'm ungrateful for the gracious title you've been given to a man who used to skulk about modifying gauntlet runners. You haven't seen anything yet. Why, one day I'll invent a teleportation device that will deliver fresh fish straight from Oceania to your palatial plates. It would change the world, wouldn't you say? Just a bit, stuck at the beginning on the development.
Indeed.
And it's times like this I need stimulation of the mind. You have anything that might do the trick? Do I smell another relic hunt? Don't pretend you didn't enjoy it. Every time you'd pop back in with one, I remember how I could hardly contain my excitement. I do miss traveling like that. Even if the relics themselves were better off left untouched, they've become the guiding principles of my research, you know? Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on future generations. Bro, this is a bar. Here's the other reason that I have to take some time to think about this, and I hate that I have to compare them, but I do. I loved Final Fantasy 16. I love the conviction of this game more. This game takes a lot of the messaging that 16 does on the surface level and says it with their chest in this game. 16 does a lot of the, I want to say this, but I don't want to toe the line and not step on any toes. And this game is like, fuck your toes. And again, I loved 16. I did. I just like what this game does better in that regard. I mean, look at this. Reread it again. Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on future generations is no engineer at all. Thinking about the convenience we have right now with the Amazon pop-up shops and how you can walk in, no service, no tender, just do it yourself. The delivery drones that go out and deliver your stuff to you themselves with no human operation whatsoever. These self-driving cars that are out there, and thinking about the burden of the future generations in terms of the environmental factors and the impact studies have been done. AI, like you just mentioned, the workforces who no longer have a place they can call their own. And when you say, well, why don't you just go to school and learn how to do new technologies and work with that? And you can't because of the burden of education costs. But thinking about the future generation and not just the convenience of what you're creating right now. So bars on bars on bars. I'm getting hungry. Should I order Wingstop? Yes. Yes. Well, I think you should order Wingstop if nothing else better is open and the same price or cheaper. Which, depending on where you live, I can almost guarantee that isn't the case. Wingstop is always a good idea when you think about it until you find out there's other things open also that are better for the same price. But Wingstop's easier to deal with. The second DLC had like all the black and brown people. For real? I thought y'all were capping. 16 has a DLC where the second one gives you black people. I kind of liked it better when it was a joke that y'all just made. Pay DLC to see black people and brown people is a better joke than the reality of like, yes, than the second DLC. Now I'm just mad. Yes, exactly, Culinary. They pussyfoot around it in 16. In this game, they're like, no. I don't want to yuck on people's yum when it comes to 16 because people get really sensitive about criticism of the game, but there's a reason metaphor is still talked about by people. The way 16 handles his themes also pissed me off. When I played 16, as I was actively playing it, I was surprised that certain things were being brought up only because of the franchise was attached to it. It wasn't like, wow, they're discussing classism kinda and kind of addressing racism in a video game. It was, wow, they're discussing classism and talking about racism in a Final Fantasy game. Not that it hasn't touched on it, like there's been class issues before and racism issues before, like
Wowie wow.
no one can ever forget how racist as hell Waka is in Final Fantasy X. But it's not really talked about how racist he is to the Albed. You know what I'm saying? But then when you have a game to put it against, like Metaphor ReFantazio, you can really identify what's surface level and what's depths. It's no different than like influencers who are like, you know, honestly, thoughts and prayers. We can do better and we should be better. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights. Human rights. Why? Because they are. Anyway, went to Vegas this weekend. Shoutouts hashtag Borderlands. Hashtag not an ad, hashtag Gearbox Interactive, super sweet. Thoughts and prayers, by the way, with the school recently. But yeah, that's what it feels like. Versus another influencer who gives you a paragraph or a thoughtful response or invokes sentiments based on historical repeatings of inequities against certain minority groups. And that's the difference between 16 and Metaphor ReFantazio. 16 does the bare minimum of an influencer and gets high fives. Metaphor ReFantazio gets in the muck and the dirt to explain to you why it's bad and how it looks when it is bad. Wingstop is so overpriced and nothing special. True. Honestly, like whenever I get Wingstop, I'm generally thinking about better wing options that I had around me. I feel that way about most establishments though that are in cities that have better local food. Like BW3's is a great place to go with the homies, and yeah, you get a lot of good deals and appetizers, but are they good appetizers? Probably not. Can you get better wings somewhere else? Absolutely. But it's the work to do it. Pizza Hut wings are better. I would know. I've never had their wings. Or if I have, they were so forgettable and I don't recall them. We're not joking. The second DLC is where all the black and brown people are. Gross. 16's DLC is cool dungeon and then cool expansion. 16 I love so damn much, but I do have some criticisms of it. Yes, same. Ray of Light, I'm sorry. I'm catching up on comments. Welcome back for 47, almost 48 months. Ray, how are you going to celebrate 4 years in the classroom? Imagine all these times after 4 years, you celebrate your 48-month anniversary with, I never want to correct you, but it's actually not Ray of Light, it's Ray of Flight. I'm a pilot, Adrian. I hate Madonna. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, bro. My bad. GG's. GG's. My bad.
However,
still, it's no small feat to design with the perfect balance of safe and revolutionary. Even I struggle with it, and I'm a bally genius. I knew it. What I need is stimulation, your majesty. You know, like a soul shaking speed and quiver of a drive engine. You'll let me know if you ever want to go out for a spin, won't you? Ah, dear old girl, sparkling clean, and I'm always ready for takeoff. Love you, nurse. Love you, smooches. Smoochies. Also, 16 has architecture based on styles from North Africa and West Asia while only having black and brown people in the second DL. Well, Shiny, that's because historically speaking, black people were never in West Asia or in European settings. One of my biggest engagements of all time in Twitter history was when I retweeted the IGN article with the interview piece with the game dev of 16 talking about the omission of black people and why. And I barely said anything and it generated so many responses just because the price was on the can. You know, like Arizona tea. The price was on the can though. You know what you're doing. And then later on I started playing and like, oh, we have a slave class in the game, so you're scared to put black people in there. Okay. That is true if you have an air fryer. Yeah, do you have an air fryer, Spider? If not, you should save your Wingstop money and get an air fryer instead. And then have Reamgu recipes. I think 16 would have been a better game if, in response to being asked why there weren't black people in the world, the devs were like, yeah, it's messed up because this world sucks. And then they explore that idea in the game rather than just like, well, like I think they were afraid and neutered their whole game's narrative with that fear. Yes. Yes. How do you have a game concept and idea about the mistreatment and the barbaric practices against an entire subsection of people without coming face to face with the adversity of the parallels that some of the people face in real life? That's the thing, Mark. You don't. The thing is, it's not about like how some games can be like, well, we don't want to be too political. We don't want to like drive sentiment in the wrong direction. Okay, if you are super cozy Animal Crossing game, maybe I can even see it. Not the value in it, but I can see it. But if you are a long-running franchise, you're standing 10 toes down because who's not going to buy your game? You're not Mind's Eye. They will buy your game. And they'll buy 17. And they'll buy 18. Like, be with the shits. They achieved their goal. They didn't get canceled. Well, you say that, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start the cancel club for them. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Black people only stayed in Africa until slavery. Right. Don't forget, Evany, also that Africa is just one big desert wasteland with straw huts. Stay woke. I will try to plan something epic. All right, bro. Don't stress yourself out about it. I trust you. 16 would have been a better game if it wasn't trying to be watered down character action game with the boring kaiju set pieces. Damn, you said I don't care about plots. I care about the action. It's the kitty. Can I get some Plateau in the chat? Look how cute Plateau is. Look at the meower. Does Plateau have a necklace? He does. He has a little necklace. Baby necklace. Look at him. He's looking at us. Hi, Plateau. Of course, yeah, gameplay matters. You can't have a shitty storyline and great gameplay and great storyline and shitty gameplay. Talk about different things though right now, brother.
Wait a sec.
Yeah, that's the cat from Academia. If that place was made of magic, how is it here in real life? Oh! That is the first valid point that Gallica has had in about 30 hours. Say nothing of how he could have survived in a deserted ruin buried in the snow. That shouldn't be possible, right? Who knows? I think he's just cute.
That's a good kitty.
I love how the prince is all of us right now. See a cat, make that face. It doesn't bother you at all? Okay, you sure are something else. If memory serves, the last king did build himself a study in the Mage Academy. Do you think academia was styled after that, maybe? I wonder what His Majesty, what Moore felt when he put this little guy in academia. The cat tends to himself quietly, utterly impartial to us. That's cat stuff. Riggs, pet the cat.
My king.
Well, there you are, Holiday. I heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we might cross paths. I have so much to tell you about my inspection, so I'm afraid you'll need to clear your diary for me soon. Inspection? What inspection?
Hold on.
Really? You need to go back to bed? You were the one who sent me to the Mage Academy, were you not?
Well,
The Mage Academy's reconstruction is going swimmingly. Repairs are in full swing, and we're already processing admissions. I must say, I'm still surprised you appointed me, of all people, to be the Academy's headmistress. I was rather looking forward to going back on tour as a songstress. Oh, and shall I introduce you to my furry little friend? I scooped him up in the Academy of all places. So she actually found the kitty cat in the ruins of Academia. What the fuck, bro? During the reconstruction, they stumbled on the little guy in some kind of observatory supposedly used by a king long ago. Considering the igniter around his neck, I'm sure he was being taken care of. I mean, there's no way a cat could survive alone in the cold. Could he?
so
Regardless, our mysterious kitty is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Academy. All that knowledge was lost when it fell, so we're starting from scratch. It may even be hiding secrets as big as the Dragon Temple or the Sanctum. Oh, and I'm keeping the cat. Feels like fate, you know?
speaking of which,
And speaking of fate, on my back, I met up with Murtis. No, she's well, I trust?
Now we're talking.
yeah.
More than well. Yeah, Murtis is the person who had major beef with Juna. Because the town was like, hey, Juna, listen, we're not big time, but we'd be so happy if you sang, in our little townscape. We don't have a lot of money. And Juna was like, all right, bet, I'll do it. Hell yeah. Meanwhile, Murder was like, excuse me, but I'm the local hero and star. I'm tired of you snatching up my gigs because you're missing the fancy pants. My town, my gig. You stole it from me. And Juna was like, yeah, listen, I don't want beef, so like, blah. I'm doing the song. And so then Murder was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get these flowers and ruin your life because these flowers will take your voice away. Teehee. And then she was like, well, actually, I don't want to do that. That's a bad move. What am I doing? Of course, this was after she sold Juna's dress and burnt it because it was her dress originally. And then she lost her voice, and Juna was like, oh no, you lost your voice. And she was like, ugh. And then Juna went out and got the ingredients with us to make her throat better. She's like, what'd that throat do though? And she was like, oh, better, thank you. Now they're friends. Then she had a performance, and Juna came and watched it, and all was well. The end. We both kept soaring to new heights. Her in music, and me coming face to face with magic again.
Hey.
Surely you remember music was the first magic born in this world, yes? That's what Gallica told us. When the heart expresses itself through music, it moves the hearts of others. And when they make hearts swell, why, there's no end to the magic. So just you watch. With music and magic at my side, I'm going to change the world. All will have equal opportunity to hone their talents at the Mage Academy. Our doors are open to all. That's why my sister would have won it. And if it makes the world a better place, why, isn't that just grand?
Magic.
Rella taught me that magic is more than a tool. It's in all of us, deep in our hearts. You know what? Rest in peace to the Queen Rella, but I still have beef with her. Not because of the whole being part of the church thing, not because of the whole turning on us, but also not turning on us because she can't help herself, because she had to protect her sister. Not because of her sacrifice. I had beef with her because she was like, okay, I have to make sure that you're king enough to look after my sister and this kingdom. Okay, how are you gonna do that? I want you to fight this dragon. And this dragon is going to ruin your life. If it hits you, frostbite. If it hits you harder, anxiety. If it gets too low on health, I'm gonna heal it. And go. That was the second hardest battle in the game for me. I guess third if you count these that I didn't do. His Majesty has good priorities. All kitties are good. Yes. Part of that quest line was, yeah, FOFO, right.
Dear me. Ain't this a pickle?
The prince has become
I love gab, 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 gab. That's so funny to me. Black person number 2. Yo, Riggs, look, it's our queen. Love me some Brigitte. A la T-Meg. The king himself out browsing the shops. Huh. Perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. Any recommendations? One igniter in particular, in fact, though I'm afraid we're all sold out of it at the moment. The igniter I made at the children's request, the one that lights up with rainbow colors, is selling startlingly well. The store was packed with families and children.
Say,
I now hold a position where I control the distribution of all manner of goods throughout the kingdom as the head of the Igniter Consortium. I can't help but think that if I had been in this position sooner, then the church's violence, tragedy of that village could have been prevented. That's the other thing too, like this game is rude. They killed her dog. And then told her the assailants were in a village that she went to, fooled her, and then they burnt that village down. Like, yeah, I totally agree, Shiny. Disappointed in me as well. And yes, true baddie. Hey, you know, it wasn't your fault.
But
I know that. I only rose to this position once you became king and shed light on what lurked in the shadows of this country. Though you can't take full credit, as it were, I was nominated for my new position by my colleagues. Our new king has changed this country for the better. However, as a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think all weapons can ever disappear from this world.
yet.
It's all the more reason I hope the reasons people to wield them continue to decline. To that end, I'll continue doing all that I possibly can with all that I am, just as you
Speaking
do.
of,
Oh yes, by the way, do you remember the dog? I found the ones who took her. Naturally, I considered, oh that's right, they didn't kill the dog, they stole her. I found the ones who took her. Naturally, I considered ending their lives, but there she was, sitting beside them. Evidently, they could not bring themselves to harm such a sweet creature, so they decided to keep her instead. I had no choice but to spare their lives. I couldn't subject the gentle dog to the atrocities I commit in her name. You should come play with her sometime. I'm sure she remembers you. I would love to come up to your apartment and play with your dog whenever you want, ma'am. Man, this is an epilogue. You know what? In a way, like, I know I'm complaining for memes, but I do like that the game has the audacity to say, if you spend 100+ hours with these people, not just your followers, like not just all these people, but all the shopkeepers you spoke to, the random NPCs, you deserve to find out what their lives are like a year later too. And that's the resolution that I rarely get from video games. And when it's done well, it's done really, really well. Because it's not just this game. But when a game tells you this NPC you talk to once every 15 hours, their life changed too. There's one person I always always reference in this topic, and it's in Final Fantasy VII, despite us just talking about Final Fantasy. But in Final Fantasy VII, for those of you who remember, if you go to the Golden Saucer, there's an NPC who's standing there in place doing martial arts. Like he's like punch, punch, kick, punch, punch, kick. And he's talking about how strong he's gonna get. And then when Sephiroth summons Meteor, he's like, I'm gonna give that Meteor my ultra kick, as he's like punching, kicking the air. I just thought it was so funny. This NPC is so jacked up, and he went from I'm training to I'm gonna give that Meteor my ultra kick to after it becomes super real that the world's gonna end, he gets actually depressed and sad about how everything's really coming to an end, huh? And he's lost like his will to do the animations and fights. And that character sticks out to me because you can just walk right past him and never speak to him. But his in-game life has changed too. And I love that. I'll boot it up one day, Reem. I'll boot up my Final Fantasy VII save that I have on PlayStation 1, or my replay that I have on emulation on my Steam Deck, or my playthrough that I have on my Switch, or my playthrough that I have on my PSP, and I'll show you Ultra Kick Girl. Remind me. Every now and then, I do enjoy a good "Where are they now?" segment in the credits of the film or whatever. Like, yeah, I would like a little blurb of what they do after the game to tie their narratives to the game's ending overall. Absolutely. Even when films do it, when like the end of the movie, they do like the freeze frame and it tells you what they're doing now. Remember the Titans did that? Letting you know what happened to all the players in the football field and what became of them later on. Yeah, right after I end, yes. Yo, Loveless. Loveless had beef with us too, but that's because he was tricked. He's dumb. He deserves that cake. Hey, what's the word, Your Majesty? Just one question, if I may. When are you going to lower the booze prices in this country? I'm going to save this. Send it to Rix. Yes, Boys in the Hood did it as well. That's one of the more tragic portions of Boys in the Hood. Is when you find out Big Homie ends up dying like 2 weeks after the credits, I think, I want to say. What I love about Metaphor is how the way you treat certain NPCs does matter. Yes. I haven't felt much like drinking until I black out so often anymore. I went through some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Love it.
Ain't this a pickle?
This is a pickle. Everyone's like, we really changed lives. Like, we made a difference. We're difference makers.
Wonderful.
We did that. There she is, Yufa, my baddie. I was telling Culinary last stream that, not to brag, but Yufa and I shook hands. And shaking hands in the Mustari culture is different than what we do. Like, shaking hands is like legit. Before I talk to her, can I tell you one of my favorite things in the game that happened? Is this.
May God keep you, child.
When this, after it's revealed that Forden is a bozo and all the Sanctus lies are exposed to the rest of the world, this dude went through it. Godot was a rightful follower of Forden. He eats, sleeps, breathes Forden. He's all about the Sanctus culture, like true sycophant, true stan. Forden dies. He's like, I'm next in line. They're like, psych, Rella's next in line. Oh, that sucks. I'm next. And she's like, we can take this outside if you want to. And he's like, no, I don't think so. And so later on, I'm like, I wonder what happened to that dude. So I go to this church, right? St. Firmus Church. And in the game, you come back here often. You come back here often because you can get gear purified. So you're constantly returning here. When you first go to St. Firmus Church, the shopkeeper is hella rude to you because you're an Elda. And what is a pagan like you doing in our Sanctus Church? And then later on, he's like, all right, listen, you're still a dirty pagan Elda, derogatory, hard R, Eldar, but you can come here and use our wares because whatever. So how can I help you? So later on in the game, in the last few chapters, bro is gone and Godot takes over that bro's station. I came back in here to get something purified. I was like, Godot? And he was like, listen, I'm shook. Everything I believed in was a lie. My beliefs, my faith, the person I followed was all for naught. Like, what do I do with my life now? So I figured I'd come here to keep doing what I know. And instead of doing the Sanctus teachings, just take the bare minimum of it, which is trying to help others. So I'm part of the St. Firmus Church now. How can I help you? And I was like, what a move. Just restation him with new beliefs. This is such a good game. French elf is crazy, by the way. This dude is now peddling supplements on a conspiracy theorist website. He's the Liver King.
All right.
You surveying the city incognito, Your Majesty? Your escorts would be aghast. Not that I think anyone is truly capable of harming you. As you are aware, faith in the Sanctus Church plummeted after our misdeeds were exposed. I admit we were arrogant and unjust, wicked in custom, but people have found salvation through the church as well. I intend to restore the Sanctus Church to its true purpose, to offer salvation to those in need. As Sanctriarch, and as someone who was saved by the Sanctus faith myself, that is all I can do to return the favor.
Keep your child.
Yeah, supposedly the actual origins of the Sanctism was to better understand magic and to better understand faith. But like some initiatives, like some faiths, like some factions over time, it became twisted by those in power who relegated it to something else entirely than its actual origins. And you know what? Like Alex alluded to, Batlin turned out to be okay in the end. When I first met him, I'm like, oh, it's Dandelion from The Witcher, aka the greatest CD Projekt Red game of all time. And it turns out he's okay. I mess with him. He's cool. I don't want to hear what he has to say, but like...
Greetings.
Working hard as ever, Holiday. Were you going about town and listening to what people have to say? Myself, I've just come from the Crown Court, where I've been consulting with the people about their grievances and disputes as Chief Magistrate. Shouldn't you delegate that?
Well,
that's a question I shall throw right back at you, Your Majesty.
In truth,
As you are undoubtedly aware, in the past, many citizens were sentenced to hang without so much as a trial, which is true. It actually happened right outside Honeybee Inn. People were getting hanged with no trial just because. Like, oh, you used magic. No, I didn't. Well, tough break. Hung. Actually, Hulkenberg's op did that a lot. Rodanth.
alas,
I'm pleased to report things are different now. Anyone, regardless of race or status, can tell their side of the story in court and be judged equally and fairly. It just goes to show anything is possible, even for a priestess to become a chief magistrate. And my brother is making great strides as village chief. He rather hated the role before, but he's truly found his calling, I
the
think.
reason is,
As I said, no one knows what the future holds. It's all the more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I want to live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not turn to crime. And so I practice what I
now that
preach.
you mention it,
You know, the other day I went to visit Ovi's church to inquire with those who are sick there about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. They let you in?
very well.
Yes. I had productive conversations with Ovi and the rest. Many who were sick had gotten better and want to ease into working again. Hearing them made me reflect on all the people who still need our help. Until now, the only hope those people had was God. Yeah, she went through a whole thing with a different religion where the house people were literally getting thoughts and prayers as medicine. Like they're in their deathbed, shaking, vomiting, pissing, throwing up, crying. And they're like, yo, besides thoughts and prayers, are we administering medicine at all? We trying to help them out? And bro was like, what do you mean medicine? Only medicine they need is God. Like, chill. And I and Yufa were like, maybe we do both? Big bro's watching from the back, be on your best behavior. Hey, at least he's watching from where I'm gonna be. You know.
I do believe.
I want to fight for them to have options under laws and systems that they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all the tribes, with all their values, can join hands in harmony. That's what we need.
Because
You aim to achieve that too, yes, Your Majesty? I hope you'll allow me to keep walking alongside you in this. She's had a great character arc, by the way. Literally going from indoctrinated sacrifice. Hey, classroom. Wow. It's really been a long time. How long has it been? Since September of last year. Okay. Hey, classroom. Wow. It's really been a long time. Welcome back to Fun Facts with Riggs. Did you know the term FANTASIO does not appear or correspond to any known word in any language? Instead, it appears to be a play on the word fantasy, which derives from the French word fantasy. Pretty interesting. See you all next time. Everyone say thank you, Riggs. Thank you, Riggs, for the education. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Yeah, but I love Yufa's character too. Went from indoctrinated, sacrificed the dragon god to full-blown archetype, self-discovery character who went on a sojourn to be a better person, not only for herself, but for her people and her village, to learn about the world, to bring that culture back to her island while sharing her own culture and growing her own faith along the way. That's actually legit. She's so good. She's such a great character. Imagine treating women like they're more than just side pieces in games. What's up? Yeah, thank you, the real Riggs and Xbox Live, for that fun fact. I love what he does his fast facts like Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey guys, Sonic doing the wagging finger. Did you know? Yeah, it's a gimmick. Oh, Alex, you weren't kidding. I thought you were saying like intrinsically, metaphorically, he's watching from the back. Like look over your shoulder. He's right there. He's dead ass staring at me. I'm sitting here trying to like get her number, like, you know, the Mad TV. Can I have your number, Skid? And he's right there in the back, staring, watching. Hey, man. Was just talking to your sister, MBD. By the way, Idini is the person, the shopkeeper we spoke to a half hour ago, had a crush on and said that he was fine shit. Whether you agree or not.
Hey.
Hello there, Your Majesty. It's great to see you're doing as well as ever. I left a meeting with the provincial lords. I also preach the Mustari teachings in various areas when the opportunity arises. Anyway, I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to your sister. Bless up. See you later. Bye. We've got Stroll, Bardon, Katarina. Where's Stroll?
All right then.
Oh, they're all right there, it looks like. Oh, it's a pathway. They lead you right to the cathedral. I like that. Neom.
The prince has become magnificent.
He's attractive?
This is all right now.
I love how you say right after he's attractive that you both have the same haircut, which merely means you find yourself attractive, which I love that for you. Wait, do me a favor, Reem. Can you have Chrono look at a picture of Adini and ask him if he thinks he's fine shit or not?
Dear me.
I want to see something.
Ripping this is.
I want to see something.
The prince has become magnificent.
He could have slipped her number in there for you. All right, brother. He's having a good old time. He's having a great time.
My,
Eh.
Lovely.
Oh, remember when I beat the brakes off you? This is the royal candidate who thought everything should be beautiful. Basically, this is the Kit Wilson,
Lovely.
the Tyler Breeze of ReFantazio. And then I beat the brakes off him and he started acting right.
Lovely that.
This dude right here has more self-doubt than any person in this entire game.
That's something.
What an unexpected coincidence, Your Majesty. No guards with you today? Don't worry, I'm no tattletale. I myself just left the meeting going over how the provincial governments are doing. We convene for the new year. How are things in Martira?
So,
Oh, it's as lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you, Your Majesty. That dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. And I'm pleased to report, as head of the provincial lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be a part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. Chrono said if his bangs were longer, he would be attractive to hide his weird eye. Okay, follow-up question. Actually, Reem, do me a favor, Reem. Paint the Mustari third eye on your forehead sometime next month and have him wake up from bed and like walk around till he sees you with it. And if he says, you know, Chrono, he'll be like, what the fuck? What'd you do? What is that? Don't say anything except, do you think I'm pretty? Like this. And we're going to compare those notes to what he says then to now. He'll say yes. Dang, with the weird eye? So what changed?
Wowie, wow, wow.
Bardon was going through in this quest line he was trying. Bardon, we'll come back to this. Kiros, welcome back for 123 months. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Okaydrian is always bringing in banging games to your door. Wait, were you doing that in the 8 Mile way? Like 1, 2, 3 Pac, 4, 1 Pac, 2 Pac, 3 Pac, 4. Or are you doing the 1, 2, 3 until the 4? Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at your door, ready to make an entrance, so back on up, because you know we're about to rip shit up. Give me the microphone first so I can burst like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach, now you know you in trouble. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, Alex is right. You can say I see magic now too. Thank you, Kiros. How you doing, brother? I do believe that you ask him if you're pretty. I believe also that he says you are every single time, because that just speaks to both of you being beautiful. I love that you two are together. It makes me happy. I'm being selfish. This is about me now. Evening, to your point, Miratira was the first time when I realized, oh, this is an Atlas game. At the opening of it and the human appearing and the human looking really weird, you know, the whole like eggshell with the tum-tum full of like militia and the carousel up above with the music singing block. I'm like, all right, it's a very Shin Megami Tensei character. I get it. But Miratira was awful. The queen, her face, the way it morphed from I'm so sweet to I'm an absolute unhinged ruler of nations, to the human child, to the fact that you can attack the human child's eyes and they get bloodshot, to her feeding her right-hand man to her child, like, and Bardon going through all that, and then the follow-up with the governance and having to defeat the worm, like, he was in hell. Things are all right now?
But of course.
Indeed they are. The townspeople play an active role in policy and administration, and I'm not bearing that weight alone. Of course, some lords are like I was once, and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious, but with all the proceedings and disputes,
Then again.
still changing our lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble.
Brilliant.
And choosing a king of our own will was all the inspiration we needed for change.
Lovely, that.
Love you, dude. Take care. What's up?
Lovely.
That's what I just said.
Very good. Very good.
My baddie, Katarina. Every time I saw her, she was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. Let's box. And she came equipped with it too. Formerly the best bounty hunter in all of the nation, in all the kingdom, until I showed up. And even then, you weren't the best bounty hunter until like the second to last chapter. Like as the game's starting to end, you're still fifth and she's still first and then second. Metaphor is inspired by a Dutch painter named Hieronymus Bosch, and it shows from jump. Wait a minute, I know that name. I've seen Bosch's works. So, in the town I used to live in Toledo, Ohio, the Museum of Toledo, the Art Museum of Toledo, is one of the best museums in the entire United States. The Toledo Art Museum. They have Bosch works there. Yeah.
Hi there.
Oh, well, if it ain't the big man himself. Good timing, mate. I just got back into town myself. Long time no see.
Oh, right.
Ain't it been? I've been out traveling since I took the reins on the Seekers Recon team. Hard to believe it's been half a year. And crazy doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything's so fantastic, I'm already itching to go back out there. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there, but what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different my head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull, if I can speak my mind. But this country's changing for the better. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. That's funny. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you is so raw. She has not changed a bit. I'm gonna say,
Hold on.
yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, come on, I'm just roasting you. After we knocked heads, I knew I could trust you with making the lives of us Carapace better than they was. All my cohort have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at sea so long.
See you soon, I hope.
But don't you worry your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for you. Do something proper kingish with it, yeah? By the way, I think she was flirting with us. So it's funny you say knocking heads, no knocking boots. I think she was flirting with us in the very last dialogue option with you. Because she says, in exchange for allowing us to now be the person, because her whole quest line is about making the life for her people, the Carapace, better. And so she goes for the throne because she feels like no one is going to make the life of Carapace better except for her. And the way she wants to go about it, albeit not a bad plan, is execute the rich, give the money to the poor. Not a bad strategy, right? Like I kind of mess with that. Especially the poor being the Carapaces. Let's go out and let's commit murder against the rich. More or less that. But the problem is, over time, her tribe, not just her tribe, the Carapace, but like her delegates became incensed to the point where they can no longer tell bad rich person from not bad decent middle class person. And so they started holding up everybody. And she was like, no, this isn't what we do. We're robbing from the evil rich and distributing that money against those who need it, not just taking money from anybody who we think might be a part of the problem. And so later on, when we stopped fighting her, she's like, all right, bet, I'll let you take over the Parappa streams. She mentions that we could do it as a fair trade. That maybe since she's doing that for us, then maybe we could do something for her instead. And the two dialogue options are like very George McFly, like very like, oh, okay, I guess, or what kind of favor would that be? And so if you're like, oh, I guess, she makes a comment about how naive and thick-skulled you are, and never mind something like she'll come back to it later. But there's a sentiment there that the favor she's asking for is to be a little romantic, you know, some dalliances, if you will. So it's not far-fetched to imagine.
All right then.
Well, I should say imagine. Like not that I was imagining. Like I wasn't thinking about it when I was playing the game. Bah. Just the dialogue treats it as such. I don't want to talk about this any longer. I hope you understand. That's everyone except for Stroll. Hey man. Look at my dude's regal fit. Like, you know he's been in Dynamis and back with this outfit on. Ugh.
Say that.
I found a very nice 2-bedroom. No, Reem, I don't think that's one of Katarina's lines. I don't think she ever says that.
Hey.
Ah, skulking about the city again, are we? Which is to say, Hulkenberg is on the hunt. The classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed. You haven't changed much either, Stroll. That's Lord or General Stroll, Your Majesty. I'll never get used to such titles. I really should take a page from Juna's book. She has a gift for delegating, like she was born to do so. Not that I can talk. I actually came out for a bit of a breather myself.
Even so.
You know, I see now that even those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. A general's duties feel overwhelming at times, but there are lives hanging in the balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives. Remember our first meeting back at the recruitment center? I, a fallen noble with nothing to my name, and you, a struggling elder traveler. Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd never have realized the truth about my fortune, my father's intentions, and I certainly couldn't have saved the Hallians.
Thank you.
I owe seeing the joy in their faces to you. I think I've said it before, but again, thank you. He had a great character arc too. Finding out about his inheritance from his family's fortune and then using that fortune to buy land in Grand Trad so that people from his village would have a place to live, since his people didn't have a place to live because his town was burnt to the ground by a human. Well, not burnt to the ground, but raised by a human. A human that was conjured and summoned up by Luis. Were you looking for a 2-bedroom, Reem? Give yourself some credit, bro.
No.
I would still owe any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. They live stable, peaceful lives thanks to you.
Hey.
You have a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze the trail. Now and always, it's my role as a warrior to be the vanguard. Our titles may have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me, now and always.
Say that.
Amen. Thank you, Stroll. Love you too. Smooches.
Right.
Say.
I want to move to a bigger place, but scared to spend more, LOL, because our rent is pretty good right now. I understand. I genuinely do.
I love it.
You know what's funny is, like, when I was in Ohio, I was paying an absurdly low price for an apartment. One, because it was older and hadn't been upgraded that much.
I love it.
The
it.
breakfast bar was old. I didn't realize until we moved out. We moved out and all the things were out of our apartment. And I got to take that one last look back at it, empty, as if it was brand new again. I was like, wow, this really is
I love it.
this apartment is a vessel trapped in time. Like it's in a vacuum. It's a monolith of apartments.
I love
Like
it.
it was amazing. When the apartment was full of our stuff and our stuff in different places, it was a home and everything fit where it needed to be. When it was gone, I'm like, this place is actually the price that it should be. And it wasn't until I went to Florida and started paying real apartment prices, I was like, oh, we had it good in a way. But I'm not sure we would have ever grown because that place was so small. But I'm with
I love
Alex.
it.
Best of luck finding a bigger but financially comfy place. I can understand wanting to move to a bigger place. Is this new place you found, the new two-bedroom?
I love it.
Is it within the budget? Is it within the parameters that you think fit what you want?
I love it. Grand, isn't it? What now?
You don't think so? Understandable.
Wonderful.
Say,
Grand, isn't it?
So,
Let's go see her.
that reminds me.
She's happy now.
But
Oh, a book we're carrying around now.
Oh,
Let's see. Little Maria. Her story arc was so sad. God.
hello there.
Voice lines.
Oh, right. I suppose now I should call you Your Majesty. You know, I was just telling Papa, even through all that mess, everyone's really been working hard.
you think this country's gotten any better since then?
Well, seems like everyone's having more fun than before. I'm sure Papa's happy too.
That's good. Hearing that from you really lifts my heart.
It's a joy to see kids like her smile. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their shoulders one day. So true.
Don't worry. I'll try to do my part with what I've got. I want to help everyone understand that the world could be a better place if we can join hands with one another. Miss Fabian's fed so many hungry people since things changed. Some of those people even said they found their place there. I think I did too. If we can all change together for the better like that, we'll be closer to Your Majesty's and Papa's dream.
Place where I ought to be. A side of myself I ought to show. The path is never clear.
And I want to help with something too. I want everyone across the land to be able to smile.
I'm counting on you.
Yeah, I'm counting on you. Let's do this together.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
Ah, that's cute.
We should be the ones thanking her. Feels like I can see the entire country's future in her smile.
Squad.
Everyone!
Long time no see. How have you been?
as we find ourselves afield, I thought I might visit Alsace myself.
Shout outs to Alsace. Real names, no gimmicks. I mean, I probably could, but I don't know. Might struggle a bit. It's pretty close to my current place, LOL. Has the rent in that place gone up over the past few years? Like, is it on the rise or has it been pretty constant in the place you're looking at?
Hold on a tick. Those people there. Surely not. Naturally, we're drawing attention. We didn't all have to go at once.
Needn't fuss, old thing. It's been too long since we were all together again anyway.
That's so cool.
Lady Tuna, did she really come all this way in a runner? Could have asked His Majesty to pop over and bring you back with a teleport or two.
The unmitigated nerve.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to take in our country as it is. It's definitely a little rougher outside the capital's walls. There's still traces of melancholia around, and the odd human roaming about.
We're sending soldiers out for every incident we can. But it's not easy to hear the voice of the people from more distant regions.
I guess it's obvious. But just because you're king now doesn't make you suddenly all-seeing.
Whoa, where's this coming from, Gallica?
A lesson I learned last year. In the end, I was blind to a great deal of this world. Never would have learned if I hadn't pushed out the door and seen it with my own eyes.
He's right. The capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its walls from people like Tommy Asteris.
A year ago, I would have just said we could fly over ourselves. I mean, let's be real. The capital isn't going to fall apart if we just sneak over for a little tour, is it?
Of course not. We specifically put precautions in place to keep things running.
Yet it has only been 1 year. We cannot be too complacent too soon, lest the dissidents seize on the opportunity.
Oh, there he is! Over there! See? I told you, that's His Majesty, innit?
Might have been a bit too obvious.
Oi there, Your Majesty!
Oi there!
You dare hoy the king, you swine?
The funniest thing has actually been Hulkenberg. The way she acts now is a little bit different than she used to. Like, before we knew we were the prince and we were just like a comrade in arms, she was always very deferential. She was sharing, like, you know what? I'm happy we're on this journey together. I'm sorry I failed the prince wherever he is. We'll get revenge. I trust in you, Captain. We'll do this together. And the minute she found out I was the prince, changed immediately. Don't speak to him that way. Your Majesty, what are you doing? You can't eat Cheetos in your knees. What are you giving him? Little Pop Rocks? Could be dangerous. Swipe. Yeah, Reem, just like that. That's how she approached too.
Steady on, Hulkenberg, calm. You needn't draw steel on the poor fellow. We're the ones who indulged in this little day trip.
Your Majesty, thanks for all you do, really. Have to say, my life's a lot easier now.
There's more work to do every day, but we're in this together. We believe in you.
Everyone's so supportive. Kind of brings back memories from last year.
Kind of.
Rather. It's the sort of thing to get a chap all misty-eyed over the past. What a journey it was.
Looks like we're drawing a crowd. Time to get back to work.
Indeed. A veritable mountain of tasks awaits us, and I will see it crested.
I think this game should have DLC where you just do paperwork.
And not long after,
as Hulkenberg.
year dawned.
You as Hulkenberg in the Grand Cathedral, just doing paperwork, answering inquiries. Ooh, or you play as Juna in a building sim. We rebuild the Mage Academy, but it's a building game.
Are you really planning on leaving us?
Exactly, Tommy.
There's more I have to see. With my own eyes.
You want to know what's going on in the world, huh? Well, I guess you are the king.
Sounds like fun, but daily jaunt down to the slums is one thing. and a proper journey is quite another. You're a king now, lad. You've got the people's expectations on your shoulders. It's all right to just sit on your throne and mind the home front, you know?
I want to do what I can for the people. If that's not kingly, then the crown's just slowing me down.
Bars.
Come on, this is no time for jokes.
Never the fearless gadabout, eh? Well, I take your point, lad. Magla and the humans make a fine barometer for the anxiety still swirling in the country. So you go out and give it a proper survey, where it is and how much is there. If people can't face their anxieties, they can't keep their eyes forward. And if they can't do that, we'll have a bally hard time moving forward as a nation or a people. So you want to get a better grasp of it all. That's your most important duty as a ruler. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Right.
Even the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized. So I'll press onward. That's the best I can do.
If that was your plan, you could have just said so.
King, realize you can politic all you want, but it's hard to beat direct action within the community. Yes. The king is leaving, what are they gonna do? We'll be fine. Like Heisman said, they put safeguards in place. They can just get like a cardboard cutout of me and put it on the throne.
Sounds like a fine idea to me. A proper spot of fun, besides. Wouldn't expect any less from our king and captain. Well, since I'm the bally court engineer, I've no choice but to come along.
Of course.
I'm the only driver fit to maneuver the Royal Skyrunner after all. Yes, here begins our quest anew. Let us sally forth upon our... hello? Are you not listening to me?
Oh my God.
You've really got to stop chasing these ideas all on your own. You'll be the death of us.
Not them coming back in with the full fits too.
Once again, sire, I've asked you countless times to give word if you're to leave the castle. Such caprice.
Nurse, don't tell me you called for them beforehand.
Saved us a bit of time, eh? Though, hello, what's this? I count only 2 of the 6 partisans. Short a few spears.
Here in Mum Donnie's Uchronia is a bar. Filling potholes and visiting landlord slums. Yes.
For my part, I believe 'tis unrealistic for all of us to depart the capital together.
Oh, so you have no plans to stop our little adventure, eh?
Hulkenberg and I talked it over. We decided that if you insist on going, we'd rather go with you than stop you.
All I want to do, dude, is visit the local grocery stores and ensure they have all the capital they need to keep running.
Are you sure about this?
I was thinking back to our last fight with Luis. So many people supported us, but not for any high-minded ideals or arguments.
They were supporting us because we were actively fighting a monster on their behalf. In the end, people make choices based on their personal experience and emotion.
I just noticed they're rocking the gold weapons too.
Even if decided justly and supported by prosperity, people may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know. An invisible ruler is no cure for their fears.
That's why I do face cam for all of you, by the way, for the ones watching.
Right. I'm not opposed to the idea of getting out into the world again. Really, it might be the wisest move to make sure you're a king everyone knows.
My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
Still, this early into the new year? 'Tis never a dull moment in your majesty's employ.
Tuck my collar, that's cute.
Bit of a smaller party than we last set out with, huh? But it's a pleasure to be on the road again with you.
This is our starting crew. What do you mean? This is the first 3.
Okay, but can we really afford to have both our general and the Royal Guard's captain coming along for this?
'Tis natural course for the Royal Guard to accompany the king. And I trust my corps is not so feeble that it will fall apart in my absence.
We'll make it work. Got to learn to trust others and delegate, right? We'll just have to lead by example.
Right then. Let's go.
That's what I said last time too. Same words.
You once heard my voice and answered a query in kind. Is fantasy a powerless creation? That timeless question. So long as life remains in the world, we seekers all shall search for our answer. But he will find his. Of that I am certain. And it is thanks to you for believing in and guiding him. That was the true purpose of my royal magic, you know.
Okay, yeah.
To seek and obtain guidance from denizens of a land beyond ours. A land that has not yet lost hope. And it was you who answered the call. Armed with your hope, armed with the power of fantasy, you rose in glory. Such courage, such whimsy, and yes, what thrills. You have my sincerest thanks.
Anime.
Feels familiar. It's been far too long.
Aye, the wind feels an echo of days past.
Unusually poetic for you.
Oh my god, Heisme.
They're awful, aren't they? They would have left us behind.
Unreal.
Well, I'm not certain we're in a position to talk, having followed straight after, saying we could just teleport back.
Well, hey, we figured the kids might want to change your scenery, like.
Amazing!
This is
Poetic
sick!
indeed. That the scepter's absence restored order to Magla, and even greenery to the sands.
The sands are green!
I definitely like this view better.
What?
Let's go.
Maria finally gets to come on one of the journeys. What a perfect ending! That almost makes me want to cry, bro. You gotta understand, throughout the entire game, Maria talks about wanting to travel so much. And our promise is that every time we go somewhere neat, we'll bring her back a keepsake from where we go. And so throughout the game, every time you visit a brand new location, like a stopping point, not a major city, but like the stopping points in between, Nuris, the engineer and the Gauntlet Runner pilot, is also a talented artist. And he draws like a postcard, a recollection of the places we visit. And whenever you return back to Grand Trad in the Honeybee Inn, you give those postcards to Maria. And she's like, wow, you really stood on the bottom of the seafloor? And you explain to her what happened. Like, wow, so the waters of the sea were parted and you could walk in the bottom of the seafloor? That's wild. Were you scared? I hope I get to see things like that one day. And so the entire game, she's just talking about how cool all the journeys were and how one day she hopes that she can go on those journeys. And for the game to end with everybody sneaking on everyone on board, and then sneaking Maria on too so she can go on the journey is lit. Because she's she's the safest kid in the world. Like nothing's gonna happen to her on the Gauntlet Runner. We got the 6 there. Toronto, rise up. We got the 6. Like she's fine. So that's a beautiful ending. Because at first, when Basilia was like the kid, I thought he was referring to us, His Majesty, as the kid. I'm like, now wait a minute. And then the camera panned down on Maria. Like that's fantastic. Fantastic. This game was exceptional. Exceptional. Hello, Door. Enjoy your lurk. I'm doing fantastic. I'm so happy right now. Look at the artwork in the background, too. A Rorschach of the characters? What do you see right now? Psychiatrist says. And I say, I see O Power of Kings. Nodding. Okay. Okay. It's so cute, Reem. It's so cute. She's the best character. She's so good. Holiday went to go do cat stuff. He went to go do cat stuff. Absolute cinema, for sure. That was great. I apologize that I could not stream all of it. It's funny because like my YouTube videos go in chronological order on parts 1 through 12. No, parts 1 through 13. No, parts 1 through 12. And then the 13th video jumps forward by about 100 hours. Like my first 12 videos are hours 1 through 33 of the game. Like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. And then these last two videos are like hour 130 and hour 140. Like, hey, what's up, besties? We're back. So happy for the things you got to see. Sorry for the things you couldn't see. And for those of you who were intrigued and didn't see the rest, I would encourage you to play it if you have an amassed amount of free time. Because you'll probably beat it sooner than I will too, because I maxed out everything. I maxed out all the virtues, I maxed out all the followers, I got the best weapons, I grinded a lot. You ain't gotta do that. You can just enjoy the game in a different fashion. And the thing is, Alex, that's not capping at all. Like, you're 100% facts. I would genuinely still be in Brylehaven right now if I was streaming this game. We would get nothing. We would get stuff done, but like we wouldn't get stuff done. You know what I mean? Especially because this game is, I wouldn't say plague. This game has a similar problem that I faced with, unfortunately, a game criticism. Well, I shouldn't say criticism. A game that I face a similar problem, which is Disco Elysium, which is that there's just so much written text. And any RPG has written text, but this game has written text everywhere. So the amount of stuff I would have to say out loud to all of you would be tremendous. Although I'm slowly learning from other streamers, like I watch Mary Kish play a few games, and sometimes streamers just don't read everything. If you're watching the stream and you can read the dialogue, you read it. I'll go, okay, all right, cool. And then summarize afterwards. So we've got to go do this and do this. I see more and more streamers doing that too. But I know if you sometimes tab out or you use me as a speaker for entertainment while you do other things, and I always feel like I owe it to you to announce what's happening in the game in dialogue. Of course, that's no longer a problem with Disco Elysium since they're all voiced now, and this game does have a large amount of voice lines, but an even enormous portion of the game is not voiced, so here we are. What a game. Metaphor is an incredible game, and I don't think I know another game that fits all the check marks this game. I thought Expedition 33 could be. The Gen AI thing ruined it. Oh, but the Gen... Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Stuart Clark, by the way. Yeah. It's a shame too, because I really, really enjoyed Expedition 33. It was my game of the year. It was my RPG of the year. I still think it is an outstanding game. I'm not a fan of the AI that was used. I don't care if it was a placeholder for the missing posters and they replaced it later on, because once you have one thing in there, you don't know what the rest of it may be. And it's a shame that takes away from an otherwise really solid game. Like, Kepler Interactive put the beats on. The only thing I can appreciate to this day without guilt is the soundtrack of Expedition 33. Because the Expedition 33 soundtrack is unblemished and unmarred by any Gen AI. It's associated with the game itself, but I hardly think that the composer knew what was being, like, why would he know? It's not part of his discussions. It's a separate strategy, a separate conversation, a separate Slack channel. So I don't hold it against the music or the composer of said music. But yes. I'm still of the mind that one stray Gen AI remnant was simply an old ass asset from back when people didn't know how effed up Gen AI was. But I don't blame anyone for dunking on it, wanting to avoid it even still. Last I heard on launch, there was an asset. Yeah, so I think it was, I think it's actually in the first, I think it's in Lumiere. And in Lumiere, there is it's either like a telephone pole or a bulletin board that has a collection of newspaper clippings of stuff happening in Lumiere. And that was a Gen AI asset put in the game as a placeholder before it could be replaced by actual graphics. And as far as we know, that's the only asset that contained Gen AI. The rest was all the rest. But we also don't know how much of it was used. There were also some comments made by the developers that kind of danced around admitting that that was a leftover asset, but also not fully clearing up what else may have been utilized the entire time. However, here's what I will say. They do have plans to continue the story. I don't think it's supposed to be a continuation of Expedition 33, as in the actual Expedition group, but maybe a different retelling of a different story. But what excites me is I think they understand the backlash, and I'd like to think this is a lesson learned, and that if they can make their next game with no Gen AI assets, that is a thumping of the chest that they could use to streamline or steam power their entire marketing for the game. Hey everyone, we're happy to bring to you Expedition 62. And before anyone asks, no Gen AI was used in the creation of this game. You can experience it and explore it with your conscience clear, that we are doing our best to support the artists who worked hard on this team. And that would go a long way for that game, to just say it off rip, so that you can enjoy that game and be like, oh, thank God, I can actually enjoy this game. You know what I mean? And that would go a long way, I think. Another one of the reasons I didn't go back and do any of the extra stuff in Expedition 33. That's me!
Dear guest, from a world I shall never know. In your eyes, I know our journey was ultimately a fiction. However, I hope your memories of this fantastical adventure burn as bright in your reality. I hope the promise of our world echoes in you. With all my heart, I hope that fantasy gives you strength.
What a great ending. What the? There's still more! Xenogears? Oh no, I'm tripping. My bad.
Look at that. The rubble's just bait for tourists now.
I never expected a view like this.
Let's see it all. Let's see the world.
Yeah.
I'm still reading that book, huh?
A new journey now beckons. In days of eld, the people prospered and perished in turn. Struck by their ways, I wrote a book of my dearest ideas. A tale of fantasy. In my vision, they placed their trust, and so the kingdom breathed new life.
The strength to believe in the unknown, that can change everything. Without a doubt, you will face all sorts of trials ahead. But carry onward with all your heart. Onward, fearless, into a world unknown.
Fantasy lives on. Oh God, we did it. By saving your clear data, certain things can transfer over as is to a new game. You can transfer currently owned items, with some exceptions, probably key items, money, mag, royal virtues, scanned enemies, memorandum, archetype statuses, and total playtime. Save clear data. You know what, everybody? I'm not going to go to the next game in my backlog. We're going to run this back for 2 more months. New Game Plus, baby. Let's go. If 145 was good, then 300 will be better. One more again. To the VOD audience, thank you for joining me on this journey. Enjoy.